Okay. Then what is the typical use of or the operations on the database? The CRUD method, CRUD, create, read, update, and delete. Then we talked about how the database can be understood in terms of raw data, then group the data, then we talked about assigning data type and data length. Okay. Once you do that, then you will be in a position to understand what a database is. And we also talked about why this field is termed as information technology. Okay. Now, I'm going to connect to Oracle. Right now, we are in Oracle. Okay. To download Oracle, you can go to www.oracle.com. Okay. From there, you can download and then install Oracle 10G. Okay. Oracle 10G is a free edition. Okay. You can download that. And what you can do is, once you install Oracle, okay, you will get a prompt like this. On the start button, you will get Oracle will be installed, and then you will see 10G Express Edition. Okay, this is what you will get. Once this is installed, you can use this run SQL command line. While installing, it will ask you the user ID and password, right? You have to give that particular user ID and password. This is again, remember, this is Oracle Database 10G Express Edition is a free edition. You can download it from www.oracle.com. If you want to buy, you have to contact Oracle, not us. Okay. Once you install and then if you start this command line, then it will ask you the user ID and password. Then you can say, right now we have given system as the name and then XE as one of our internal user ID, and then we have given the password. Now you will get a SQL prompt like this. Before we get into Oracle syntax and other stuff, I would like to have one more concept in Oracle database, or any database for that sake. Yesterday we talked about rule number 1, identify the data. Rule number 2, assign the data type and data length. Rule number 3, group the data. We could see about 8 to 10 people sending their case studies to our email ID. Again, openmentor.net is a free coaching, online coaching movement. Our motto is the whole world can learn for free. People have sent that information. Thanks for that. That shows your commitment towards learning. The fourth point that I'm going to tell is the fourth rule on database. Relationship between data. Okay. Relationship between data meaning certain data are unique. Okay. Certain data are unique. That means, for example, in the whole railways reservation system in India, the PNR number is unique. Okay. PNR number. Same way in your college, student roll number, right? That's unique. Unique meaning there is no other number. It is not duplicated. Same way, if you go to bank ATM transaction number. Every transaction you do, there's a transaction number. It's given. That number is unique. First, identify from the data list that we have prepared which ones are unique, which ones are not unique. For example, account holder name in a bank need not be unique. There can be 2 Johns, there can be 2 Nagarajans. Okay. Whereas the account number cannot be duplicated because there cannot be 2 account numbers with the same value in it. So first identify unique and non-unique data. The second thing that you need to identify with respect to relationship is there are 2 main relationships. Okay, that means one-to-one relationship. One-to-one relationship meaning one PNR is associated with only one train number. Okay, one PNR is associated with only one train, which is true. You cannot have a PNR number which is associated with 2 different train numbers. Same way, one ATM transaction ID is related to only one card, one ATM card. This is called one-to-one relationship. In your data, you might have listed hundreds of data. In that, you need to identify which is unique. That's number 1. Number 2, one-to-one relationship, right? Again, for every match, there can be only one winner in football, which is true, right? Now, there is something called one-to-many relationship. When I say one-to-many relationship, one PNR is associated with one or more passengers, correct? So in a single ticket, I can have 3 different passengers. That is called one-to-many relationship. If you take cricket, 1 over is associated with more than 1 ball, right? That means it's a relationship. If you take a train route in railways reservation, 1 route is associated with more than 1 station, right? Because there should be a start, there should be a destination. There should be at least 2 stations. So one-to-one is a relationship. One-to-many is another relationship. So in the data, you need to identify this relationship as well. Just to give a feeler about what we are going to see in detail at a later point of time, when we talk about this uniqueness, database deals with this uniqueness using primary key or unique index. Okay, there is something called the primary key concept and unique index concept. Database can handle this. We will see this later, but I'm just giving you a heads up. This one-to-one relationship and one-to-many relationship, right? These relationships are handled using foreign keys. In database, when we talk about RDBMS, the relationships and rules are key. The relationships, uniqueness is taken care by primary key or unique index. One-to-one or one-to-many relationships are taken care by foreign keys. Database itself is taking care of this. So, having got this in mind, we will go to Oracle. Is this clear to you all? Uniqueness and relationships. Can you please raise the hands? Super. Okay. Good. Now, I'm moving to the Oracle, the database itself. Now let me minimize this notepad screen. Now, having connected to Oracle, first I want to see whether a table is there. A table meaning, as you know, we call tabular column, right? A tabular column means it has got rows, it has got columns. Simple example is your monthly calendar. The monthly calendar has got rows horizontally, columns vertically. Same way, in mathematics we would have learned matrix. Matrix has got rows and columns. If you take an army parade, right? In the army parade, there are people coming in a row. In each row there may be five people. You could see a matrix of people marching, right? That's called a parade, army parade. Again, that is a tabular format. Anything that has got arranged into rows and columns is called table. In database, the primary thing is table. Table contains data. Okay. Now, to find out, suppose I want to see whether there is a table in the name, say my table. If you want to see that, the very first command you can use is describe, D-E-S-C, describe my tab, okay, or my table. Okay. If I do that, the moment I say describe my table, it says object my table does not exist. That means the table is not there. You could see ORA dash some number. This is the internal error number. The description of the error is this. In Oracle, every error has got a unique value so that you can identify from the index. Okay. Someone is asking, can you change the font? If you want to change the font, right, I have to go to this properties, and then I can increase the font to 18. Let me see or how it looks. Let me just check how it looks. Okay. So you can change the, okay, now it's better. So you can change the font size pretty much like this, and then it will appear like that on the screen. To find out whether the table is there, we talked about this describe my table command. Now I want to create a table. When you get into the database, yesterday when we talked about spreadsheets, in spreadsheet you open it and then you say right click insert a sheet, which is a graphical user interface, whereas in the database table we are talking about command prompt. Command prompt meaning something you have got like this, you have to type this command. Okay. When you do this, you have to create a table. In a spreadsheet, we created the table columns yesterday. Today, we are going to create a table. Remember 3 keywords: create, alter, delete. Okay? Create, alter, delete, right? These 3 are the key commands which are called DDL, data definition language, right? DDL meaning data definition language. In data definition language, create, alter, delete are the important commands. Okay. A few people have started typing the questions. One of the disciplines that we may have in these webinars is that first half an hour to 45 minutes, you allow us to take the class, then you ask the doubts, because people want to know only their doubts. In this webinar, especially which is conducted by Open Mentor, hundreds of people attend. We divide the rooms into small, say 40, 50 people in a single virtual room, then we club all these rooms. There are people who do not know ABCD of the databases. So for them, we have to go slowly and steadily. So if you have already known some facts in the database, please reserve that, ask at a later point of time. Hope you understand our position on that. Now, to create the table, you need to use a command called create table. Okay. You will be seeing a striking coincidence with what we have seen yesterday and today. We are going to see today. Look here. Create table. This is the command. You have to start create table, and I need to create a table by name my table. Create is a keyword, table is a keyword, my table is the table name that I want to give. Okay, now once you give that, and then if you hit enter, it is showing the number 2. That means the second line in the command. The command has not completed. Now I am showing line number 2. I am making an open bracket. Now in the tables we need to give the column names also while creating the table. Now I'm saying create table, my table. Okay, I want to give just 3 or 4 column names. Let me give employee ID. EMP ID is the name of the column that I want to create. Now I want to say this is a number. Okay, I'm saying this is a number. EMP ID is a number. Now I want to give another column by name, EMP name, employee name. I want to say this is a character, CHAR character. I want to give the length as 30 characters. Okay. Now I want to give one more thing, like designation. I want to give character 3. That means it's a type is character or text, and length is 3. Okay, comma. I want to give one more information like date of joining. Okay, date of joining, I'm saying there is something called date time. Okay, suppose I give that, I close the bracket. To denote that the command has ended, you have to give semicolon. Now I hit enter. Okay, now it says somewhere it says invalid data type. Okay, when I have given a data type, it has not given errors for number, character, but when I gave date time, it was giving error. That means I have made some syntax error, and it has put a star mark right there. Now if I want to retype the command, it will take more time. Instead of retyping the command from the prompt, if you simply type ed, ed stands for edit. If I do ed and then click type enter, it opens a notepad, and whatever you have given, it appears as a command. Instead of the semicolon, it has put a slash over there. Slash means end of the command. Now let me go here and then say instead of date time, I just change it only to date. I close that, and then I save this file. Okay, now ed stands for edit. When I edit, it shows the last command, and it is now displaying the entire command. To execute the command, all you need to do is slash. Okay, put a slash and then enter. The moment you do that, it says table created. That means what we used to do in spreadsheets with the right click, we have to type a command over here, and now the table is created. Okay, fine. Where is the table residing, right? How do I know where the table residing, whether the table is really inside the database or not? How do I know? To know that, all you need to do that is say describe my table, right? The same command. The moment you say describe my table, see here, right? It displays whatever column names that I have done, EMP ID, EMP name, designation, date of joining, and whatever data type that we have done, right? The keyword that I have given date time was not accepted. It was accepted as only date, so I should have given only that keyword. That's why it was failing. It was a syntax error, correct? Now, you know now the table exists, correct? Once we have this table, now there is something called a null, right? question mark. I will come to that again later, not today. Now I know the table exists, correct? One of the things that we want to encourage with people is first learn any database by using the command line prompt so that you will come to know the commands, what to give in terms of create or the syntax. Then there are graphical user interface freewares available. One such thing is called Toad, T-O-A-D, Toad. Using that you can do clicks to create the tables, but it is always better that you learn the syntax of create commands first and then you do that using the GUI at a later point of time, so that your concept, the fundamentation or the fundamentals or the foundation will be very clear to you. Now, I want to know, this is the table. Right now I have created. I want to delete this table or remove the table. If it is a file system like document or a spreadsheet, I can go to Explorer and then say right click the file, delete. I have created a table. I want to remove the table from the database itself. If you want to remove the table, then you need to use the command drop table. Okay. If you use drop table, my table, okay, drop table is a command. Again, if you give the table name, create will create the table inside the database. Drop will remove the table from the database. Now if I say describe my table, if I do that, it says object does not exist, right? One more thing, if you use this up arrow or down arrow, right, the previous command will appear on the command prompt. Okay, so if you use the up arrow or down arrow, right, it will show you the command. Now I say I want to create the table once again, create table, my table, right? Now I want to use again I'm using up arrow. The reason is it will minimize your typing, right? Now I know instead of date time I have to give date. Rather than retyping, you can always use this way. Use the up arrow to go back. It's exactly same like how do you do in DOS. If you press the up arrow or down arrow, the previous command or the next command will show. Now the table is created. You can say describe my table. The table is created. This is a very simple way of creating a table, removing a table. As I said, remember the commands create, alter, and drop. Okay, I talked about create, I talked about drop. We will talk about alter maybe in the next class, not today. Okay, is this clear? Can you please raise the hands? Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, let us proceed to the next level.